Hello, this is Mr. Froelich. Today we will be going through the basics of Earth's atmosphere. One of the questions you have to ask yourself when you study the atmosphere is, what is it? Earth's atmosphere in some ways is unique to the planets in our solar systems, and in many other ways it's just an ordinary atmosphere. Most planets have gases that surround their solid surface. The makeup and behavior of these gases for each planet is different. And one of the things that we are going to do is examine how our atmosphere behaves and what happens as a result. One of the ways that we will learn about the behavior of our atmosphere is to watch what it does. Now, usually our atmosphere is invisible. The easiest way to visualize how our atmosphere behaves is to look at the clouds. What I'm showing you is a time lapse of cloud movement, and I want you to pay attention to what this sort of looks like from something in your daily or past experiences in life. These are clouds that have been sped up through a time lapse to show you the motion of the air around them. It helps us visualize the fluid motion of the atmosphere. Another way to help us visualize the motion of the atmosphere is to watch this time lapse, which is a global panoramic view of all storms, clouds, and winds on the planet. While you watch this, I want you to pay attention to the way that storms and clouds seem to flow together, sort of like they are in a liquid. When we are examining this, it's important to remember that our atmosphere from the videos behaves like a fluid. It looks like it moves more like water does than gases. Our atmosphere is also constantly changing. It's moving, interacting, mixing, separating. There's always something changing with our atmosphere and the air that we breathe. And like we had said during one of the videos, it seems like we sort of are living in an ocean of air by the way that it behaves and moves around. So one of the things that we also need to study with this topic is, what is air? So one of the pre-questions for this video was asking for you to tell me what air is. What do you know about it already? And when I ask this in class, most students will say that air is oxygen. And if you said that, or if that thought crossed your mind, you would be correct. Air does have oxygen in it. But oxygen only makes up about 21% of Earth's atmosphere. So this is surprising to most students because that means 80% of air is something else. You are breathing in only 21% oxygen when you take a breath. That is mostly made of nitrogen, which is 78%. There is argon, which is 0.9, and everything else, the trace gases, is 0.1%, and that includes solids and liquids and other minor gases that you breathe in every day. Now, to take a look at the gases that make up our atmosphere in detail, nitrogen, which we said makes up 78% of Earth's atmosphere, is also known as the original gas of our atmosphere because it was given to us by the outgassing of several volcanic eruptions in early Earth's formation. Oxygen, which is around 21%, like we had said earlier, was not always around on planet Earth. It was later on created by bacteria and algae that were very popular in the first times of life during the Precambrian eon. And lastly, we have argon, which is a noble gas that only makes up around 0.9%, like we said, and is unreactive. Trace gases are the gases that are only found in small amounts in our atmosphere. The first one that we want to highlight is water vapor. We see this in liquid form as clouds or rain, but as a vapor, it's more like steam. You will find ozone, which you maybe have heard of as something that protects you from the sun's violent energy or radiation and helps us from getting sunburns. And lastly, you will find carbon dioxide, which is again a very well-known gas in our atmosphere, usually in very, very small amounts, but still known because it is a powerful greenhouse gas, which means it traps heat from the sun like a blanket. The last thing that you will find in the air is called aerosols. Aerosols are a group of materials that include solids or liquids that are present floating around amongst the gases that you breathe. Now, some of you may be thinking this is quite gross, and yes, you are correct. Aerosols include things like dust, salt from the ocean, and microbes, which is one of the reasons that spreading diseases through the air is possible. Dust is, a matter of fact, something that you can see floating around in your house probably right now, and when that dust is done floating in the air, it'll settle on materials that haven't been disturbed in a while, and you have probably seen that in your daily life. The last one, which we talked about earlier, is like a sneeze or a cough, and how that is able to put aerosols and microbes and bacteria and other nasty germs into the air, which help cause the spread of certain diseases. This is the basic info you will need to know for Earth's atmosphere. If you have questions, feel free to contact me. Thanks for watching.